How is that for a bounce back game, huh? Man, what a performance by the Raptors from almost every single player on the team. Almost. Before I get into individual performances, god damn, that defense is legit. I think a lot of people will predicate the lack of Boston's offense on their crazy opener against the Knicks, and don't get me wrong, that did play a slight factor into this game. However, the Raptors just did not give a F and stepped on their throat. No mercy, baby. They were able to force 25 turnovers, with both of the Celtics stars committing 5 each, and the Raptors only turned the ball over 11 times. That is a huge plus 14 win in the turnover battle. If you watched the game, you may have noticed some great defense and an awesome defensive scheme. The best part of their defense is something that does not really catch the attention of the fan because it happens off ball. Their off ball defense is elite. Raptors are using their amazing versatility regardless of who is on the court. Whenever the Celtics were using off-ball screens and motions to free up Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown or any of their other scorers, the Raptors were playing a temporary zone defense, simply staying home while the Celtics were moving. Usually teams would be playing man-to-man defense, and the screen would allow Tatum or Brown to have the defender on their back, which would allow them to either get a free three or a lane to the hoop. However, the Raptors defense mitigated that, and when they touched the ball, almost instantly the Raptors would guard whoever or whichever Celtic was closest to them. The execution of this style was brilliant, and it allowed the Raptors to stay in front of their opposition's offense without giving up anything easy. However, the weakness to this defense are the mismatches that it causes. There were multiple times when Fred was matched up on a big man, or Jason Tatum, or even Jaylen Brown. For the most part, he held up. Don't get it twisted, there were times when they were able to abuse the matchup, but Fred was able to counter the mismatch by poking the ball away. He caused 3 steals, or getting help from a solid double team. The defense executed their strategy going into this game perfectly, and as a result, held the Celtics to 83 points. Speaking of brilliance, how about Scottie Barnes? He was phenomenal this game, putting up 25 points and 13 rebounds while shooting 11 for 17 from the field and splashing a 3 early. Someone mentioned, Scottie is so damn polished, but so damn raw at the same time. I could not have said it better myself. Scottie has this knack of making the right play in so many different moments of the game. His ability to move off the ball, whether it was cut to the rim or grabbing offensive rebounds for putbacks, really shows off his polish. All of that polish draws back to his incredible basketball IQ and understanding of the game. He positions himself to get to rebounds and easy baskets with his head. And he is completely leaps and bounds ahead of most rookies when it comes to this department. He is still raw in the sense of creating his own bucket, but it was very encouraging to see him splash that triple and then take another one to see if he got it going. The confidence in his game is going to continue to grow, and he might be a different player by the end of the season. Speaking of growth, Precious had an incredible game, putting up 15 points and 15 rebounds while also hitting a triple of his own. Not gonna lie, he started off a little anxious and was making plays that were just not there, but once he got it together, his game improved. Similar to Fred, there were times when he was in a mismatch and was picked on, but he more than held his own and was able to force some tough shots. Gary Trent Jr. probably had his best game of both the regular and preseason. He was awesome as a starter. Not only was he great offensively, dropping 20 points on 7 for 13 shooting from the field and 2 for 6 from downtown, but he was great defensively, generating 4 steals and playing really well to prevent Boston's off-ball movement from generating easy points. Boucher also had a nice outing, putting up 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 steals. However, the downside of his game, yes, there is a downside when you blow out the other team, It is the lack of offense from Fred VanVleet and OG. Fred had an okay night offensively. He put up 11 points on 3 of 10 shooting from the field and 2 for 5 from the 3, but more importantly, he was able to drop 9 assists to make up for the lack of scoring production. I love that. I mentioned this before, but FVV's ability to facilitate and make plays is going to be critical for this team's success. Even when his own shot was off, it is nice to see him make plays for the people who got it going. OG is a different story. He once again had a very inefficient night, shooting 4 for 18 from the field, and 0 for 5 from the 3. And it's not like he was just jacking up shots. He was trying multiple ways to get the ball in the hoop, and it was just not going in. It is tough seeing him struggle, especially how he lit it up in the preseason, but I'm sure he will get it back on track. The one thing I did notice is that they all came out very sloppy. It was really frustrating to see Fred blow an open layup, or the team squander either a 4-on-1 fast break or a 2-on-1 fast break early in the game. And at that part of the game, those plays can really make a difference in setting the tone. However, they cleaned it up and were able to get back on track earlier than they were in the opener. Up next, you got the Dallas Mavericks. They're coming off a blowout loss to the Hawks, so they're definitely going to be bringing their A game. It is going to be an interesting game because I'm curious to see how the Raptors deal with Luka. He is their best player, and honestly, there's no other player to pick up the slack. It's a one-man team, and I'm trying to see the strategy they use against that.